Hi, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. Today we are going to focus on the knee joint. So your knee is a joint. We can't stretch a joint, but there are a lot of big muscle groups that cross the knee joint. You've got the quads and the hamstrings and the sartorius and the IT band and your gastrocnemius. You've got a lot of leg muscles that cross, which is why it can move. But if any of those muscles get tight or sore, it can start to, you can feel it in your knees. So the knee doesn't need to stretch. Your knee is just like this alignment of bones and it's a hinge and it doesn't stretch, and we don't stretch the joint capsule. But those muscles that cross the joint, that's what we're gonna stretch today. So you're going to need some kind of band. I have a proliferation of stretchy bands in my life, but you also could use a belt or a dog leash or a towel that you rolled up. I've been on vacation and used a sweatshirt. You just hold on to the wrists and it works great. So you just need something as a little bit of a prop. And if your hamstrings are tight, you might want a second prop like a rolled up towel or a pillow to lift your hips for one of the stretches. So let's get started. So because we're working with pretty big leg muscles, we're still gonna do our standard warm up just to get blood flowing and muscles warm. Warm muscles are quicker to contract, they are quicker to relax, and it is safer to stretch. So let's get started. Do you remember how the warm up starts, Max?
Tabletop, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love a good tabletop. All right, so we're gonna inhale, belly down, and exhale, round up. Just down and up a few times.
Looks like. Dang it. There we go.
Good, come back to your tabletop shape. Bump your hips to the right. And bump in the other way. Dog, you're in my way. And bump your hips one way. And then the other dog, go away. That's better. All right, from here. From here, you're gonna hop or step your feet back into a plank. Looking at your fingernails. And inhale up. Hips go back, come into your downward facing dog. And pedal it out a little bit. So you bend one knee and then the other. I'm on a very creaky part of the floor. And then inhale, look to your hands, hop or step your feet up. Ragdoll, very, very bent in your knees. Make sure that your knees are going over your middle toes, not coming together. And from here you have the option to lace your fingers behind your head and gently pull down. Release your hands down. Inhale, roll up to your mountain pose. Exhale, chair on your way down. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, chair. Inhale, roll up. Make sure your hips and your ribs stay connected so you're not sinking into your back. Exhale, chair on your way down. Inhale, roll up. This time lift your hips, lift your heart, elbows go to the side.
Oh, that hurts.
And up. Where does it hurt?
Right here.
Right there? Okay, so go back up. Hang on, no, not into it, just a mountain pose. That was a bad instruction. Okay. I'm not gonna let you hurt, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna think about lifting in your tummy muscles. Do you feel where my hand is?
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing on my hand is gonna bend. You're only gonna bend this stuff above my hand. So you're just gonna lift your chin. Whoop, whoop, we lost your tummy muscles. Does that feel better?
Yeah.
And come back up.
I don't know how to do that though.
That's okay. That's why we practice. And that's why I have you practice with me, so that other people who don't know how to do it can learn. Yeah?
Okay.
All right, I think you did great. So here, nice and tall, and exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, tuck and curl. We're going a little bit more quickly through the warm-up today because my videos have been getting very long. Plant your hands, hop or step your legs back into your plank. Ooh, that was a good hop. And inhale up and back, this time focusing on the sensations through the shoulders, letting your head hang heavy. Look towards your hands, inhale, ragdoll, hop or step your feet. Good. And now from here you have the option to clasp your elbows and gently sway side to side. Getting a little movement into that lower back.
I hate this part.
Why do you hate it?
It just feels weird and my legs always get so tired.
So you don't have to do it, it's an option. But the tiredness in your legs is kind of what we're going for. We're trying to turn on those muscles and build a little strength and get some blood flow. Inhale, roll up to your mountain pose. Exhale, chair. On your way down. Inhale, mountain pose. I'm going to back up because I'm afraid I'm going to smack you in the face.
Yeah, it was good.
Exhale, chair. On your way down. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale, chair. Good. Inhale, rolling up. Feel your tummy muscles lifting up. Keep your tummy lifting up. Squeeze your booty a little bit to help protect that back. And open up your shoulders. Just lift your chin. Was it better that time for you, Max?
Yeah.
Good job. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, tuck and curl. Plant your hands, hop or step your feet back into a plank. Don't look at your feet, that makes your butt stick up.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, it's harder to, it's not possible really to get the full benefit when you're looking at your toes. Inhale up, come back into your downward facing dog. Option here to rotate your pelvis on top of your femur.
Wait, now should I look at my feet?
Yeah, now looking at your feet is totally fine.
Okay, cool.
I just keep wearing these loose neck shirts so I can't see anything. And look to your hands, inhale, hop or step into your ragdoll. Nod your head, yes. Yes, it's gonna be a good day.
Oh, jeez.
Shake your head, no. No, I'm not stressed right now. You'll be stressed at the end of the video. And inhale, rolling up. You take a step back, welcome back, puppy. Exhale, on your way down.
How come I always end up at the other end of the mat?
Inhale up, because we both moved backwards. Exhale, chair. Puppy, you're gonna have to go somewhere else on your way down. Inhale up. Exhale, chair on your way down. Don't be afraid to really bend those knees, because that's what we're working on today. Inhale up. Squeeze your booty, keep your abs lifting. Open the elbows and lift the chin. Up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, tuck and curl. Good.
I'm very inflexible.
Well, that's why we do this, is for the practice. Okay, now we just need to stretch the front. Oh, down here, we're gonna stretch the front of the chest a little bit. Oh, we don't need that quite yet.
Oh, I got excited.
So you might be a little bit sore through here because you carried in all the stuff from Costco. That's okay. All right, you're gonna come to this side of your mat. Good, so we start in a tabletop. Take your right leg straight out from your hip. Good, flex your foot, toes to the ceiling. Good, right hand is directly below your sternum. There you go, yeah,
Here.
well done. Inhale your left arm up. And exhale, toes come forward, you thread the needle, and you come down to rest on your left ear or shoulder and shoulder. Option to use the hand that's on the ground, the right hand to press to intensify the stretch. But it's an option, you don't have to. And release, good. So now we're gonna come to the other side of our mat.
Whoa.
Good, start your tabletop. Left leg goes straight out from your hip. Good, toes to the ceiling, there you go. Left hand directly below your sternum. Inhale your right arm up. I know this is my stiff side too. And exhale, toes come forward. Thread the needle. Oh, this is definitely my stiff side. My ear is not on the ground. Oh, it's okay though.
My ear isn't on the ground because of the height difference between the mat and the floor.
Ah. My ear isn't on the ground because that side of my neck is needing some attention. And come out. Good. Okay, so the first stretch does not need a band. Only some of the stretches need it. So you're gonna sit here. Knees are bent, feet are planted on the ground. I'm gonna turn and face you. Good, so your fingers can be facing the back or they can be facing the front, it doesn't matter. You're gonna take your knees to the, no, I'm gonna take them to the left. Take your knees to your left. Do it? No, I like, take your knees to the right, sorry.
Make up your mind.
I know, you might wanna scooch back just a little bit so we're not quite so, there you go. Good, so this hip, okay, so your left hip is gonna be off the ground. It's not touching the ground. We don't wanna let it like fly away. We wanna keep it close to the ground, but it's okay to let it, no, just be normal. Yeah, do you feel how that has lifted a little bit through there?
No.
Okay, so come back here. Come back to where we started, please. Good. So now feel the connection to the ground.
Okay.
Now take your knees to the side. Do you feel how that connection changed?
Yes.
Good. That's what we want. So there's no pressure to keep it the same. So you're gonna come back onto your elbows along this diagonal line of your left leg. So you're gonna go that way, and I'm gonna go this way.
So like this?
Yes. Good. Now, we are trying to get this back knee to the ground, which means the back hip is gonna lift a little more, and down it tries to go. Good, and the sartorius muscle is coming from the outside of the hip. It crosses and it attaches on the inside of the knee, and that's what we're trying to go for here. I feel this more in my glute muscles, but I practiced this last night. This morning, I felt it in my sartorius. How are you doing, Max?
Fine. How much longer do we have to do this?
Not much longer. And rest. Good. Now you are going to want your band.
Yay!
We are going to stretch your quad muscles. So we've been working on the left leg. You're going to be on your belly. Okay, I think this is easier to loop around first. Loop your band around your foot or ankle.
Left foot?
Yes, because we're working on your left leg. And then come to lay on your belly. I don't have a graceful way of doing this.
That's good.
So, I know, it's true. There you go. Good. Yeah. The goal is not to get your foot to your booty. If you find that your belt is rolling off, just flex your foot a little. The goal is to just have that stretch through the front of the hip and the quad muscle. So we're trying to have both hips contacting the ground. You might want to contract your glute muscles a little bit. And then from there, you use your band to pull your foot closer in. But the emphasis is not heel to hip. Do you feel it? Okay, so your right leg is straight, buddy.
I know, I was fixing my band.
Do you feel a stretch?
Yes, very much so.
Oh, good. The quad muscles are usually understretched. People usually think to stretch their hamstrings, but they forget about. And release. Good. Okay. This next one's a doozy. That's always a good sign, huh? Okay, go ahead and sit up. Legs come in front of you. It's a doozy, but it's an important one. Loop underneath your foot with your band.
1 second.
Sure, I can wait, no problem.
Cool.
Good. Good, so from here, we're gonna lie down on your back. You're gonna bring your left leg up as high as you can while the knee is still straight. And that'll be different. If it makes you make that sound, you might wanna take it down an inch or so. Because you don't wanna be dying, you just wanna be stretching. Now from here, you're trying to keep the left hip on the ground. It's gonna come up a little bit, but we try. And we take the foot across to the right, and your big toe is pointing to the wall behind you. This is getting into your IT band. Make sure you breathe.
Okay, I'm trying.
Okay, if you're having trouble breathing, then you've probably stretched too far. Can you breathe normally here?
Yes.
Can you breathe normally here?
Yes.
How about here?
Yes.
How about there?
No.
How about here?
I feel a stretch and I can breathe, I guess.
Then this is the perfect place for you to stretch it. Any chance you're feeling a stretch here?
Yeah, especially between my knee and my foot.
Oh, all the way down. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, okay, I see why. Flex your foot more. Did that lessen it in your lower leg?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yep, exactly what I thought. Okay, good. And release. Good. That's your IT band. Go ahead and sit up. I'm gonna face you again. Left leg is out. Right knee is in. We don't need the band right now.
Goodbye for now.
So make sure that we didn't let the left hip come forward. Left hip stays back. Foot is flexed. Bring your foot to the side of your leg instead of under it so that you can really stretch your knee. Sit up nice and tall. And exhale, come forward. Your hands can be resting on your quad muscles. They can come down onto your tibia bone. They can be on the ground. It's up to you.
I'm putting it here because if I try to go all the way to the end, I'm going to be embarrassed.
You don't have to be embarrassed. This is stretching for real people.
Still going to keep it here
That's fine.
because I can.
Exactly. It's all about where the stretch is for you today. And rest. Good. Same shape with a band.
Yeah.
Loop the band around your foot. We're not going to lean forward. Keeping your knee straight. Okay, you don't want the foot underneath your knee because you can't straighten it all the way. There you go. It doesn't have to be up so high. If you wanted to put it down here, that's fine too. It's just wherever you're more comfortable.
I'm just gonna lay it here.
Okay, but do you see how you're slouching? You gotta get up on top of your sits bones. That's much better. Good. So now you're gonna pull back on the band.
That's what I'm doing to keep up.
Good. Use the band to flex your foot so that you get a stretch through your calf muscle. Put your foot on the ground, please.
Oh.
Let's lift this band. Hey, release a little bit. There, so it's more on your toes. And now pull back. Do you feel the difference?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Wow.
Stretching through the calf. You don't think of your calf as being connected to knee stiffness, but it can be. And release. Good. Keep the band where it is. You're going to lay down on the ground with your right leg bent and planted. So the reason we have this bent and the reason we're laying on the ground is to protect your spine. So make sure that you are keeping that in a nice neutral shape and we're not putting pressure on the lower back. And then from here, we're just going to raise the leg to where you can keep your knee straight and feel a stretch.
Okay, this is a good spot.
Good.
Ooh. Can I play this like a guitar? Kinda.
And release. All right, that's one leg. So we place the band down. We come back up to this nice starting shape. We windshield wiper our legs the other direction.
1 second. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. This way.
You're right. Don't worry about getting your knee to the ground. It might get there, it might not. Good. And now we're going to follow this line to the back. Good. And then contract the muscles, trying to get the leg to the ground. I like to put my hand on my lower back for a little support.
Oh yeah, that was a good idea. So my wrist isn't tall enough.
This is an interesting stretch because we want to be as relaxed as possible when we stretch, but this one does require a little bit of contraction. So it's hard to find the right muscle to contract. Just takes practice. And release. Good. All right. So we're gonna wrap that around your right foot and come to lie down on your belly.
Oh, it's this one, not the one where I need to put it on like my toes.
No, it can just be anywhere on your foot/ankle. Ooh, soreness.
Oh, dang.
That's okay.
There really is no graceful way to do this.
I don't know of a graceful way to do this. You can be up on your elbows or all the way down on the ground. It's up to you.
Oh, come on.
Good. So your left leg is straight and your right leg is bent. Both hips are on the ground. And we gently pull the foot closer to the hips. Make sure you're not pulling it off to the side because then you have rotation in your stretch. And that's not something that you should do over YouTube. That should be done under supervision of someone who really knows what they're talking about, like a physical therapist. So we're trying to get the band as close to your shoulder or neck as you can. And release. Good. Okay. Now it's time for that super fun one. Let's do the IT band. So your legs come in front of you. Awesome. Go ahead and lie back. Right leg comes up to where you can keep the knee straight and the foot flexed and breathe. And then you start to take it to the side. I'm trying to keep the right hips as close to the ground as we can. Good job. Rotate your toes towards that wall. There you go. But your hips will come up a little bit. And release. Good. All right. Put your band to the side for a second. Go ahead and sit up. I'm gonna face you again. Right leg is out. Left leg is in.
We're just laying around.
Go and bring it in a little bit. Bend it somewhere. Good. Sit nice and tall.
I hate sitting up.
Okay. Why do you hate it?
I don't know, it just feels weird.
Is it hard on your booty? Is it hard under your legs? Is it hard in your core?
It's just weird. That's
It's
all I
just
can
weird.
really say.
Okay, so you might be, this mat is used to rolling this way. You might benefit from sitting up on a boost. So lift your hips just a smidge and sit down on that. Is it easy? Sit back a little bit further. Scoot your hips back.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, so you're just kind of, is it easier to sit up tall that way?
Yeah.
Okay, then you are a boost person for a while we work on building strength and
But
flexibility.
this might kind of take a toll on my leg.
No, it won't. It'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you're not thinking about, oh, now my knee has to touch the ground.
Oh yeah, that would mean your knee is bending the wrong way.
It would be hyperextended, exactly, and we don't want that.
I don't want to go to the hospital.
Some people's knees do that naturally, but not very many. And gently fold forward. Try to get one hand on each side of your leg. Yeah. need to relax a little bit.
Oh no, I'm just fidgeting because I'm kind of bored. Stretching is boring.
Sit up. Alrighty. Grab your band and loop it around the top part of your foot so the arched ball of the foot toes. Keeping the knees straight but not
Oh,
hyperextended.
this is the one where I need to like wrap it around my toes. This one. Cool. Like this.
Yeah, sit up tall. There you go. And then use the band to stretch the calf. You don't need to, so you're not pulling back. It's not like you're not trying to resist anything. You want to sit up nice and tall, and then if you need more of a stretch, you just shorten the band from there.
Okay.
And release.
I can't reach that far though.
That's okay. And let's unroll this for you so you have something to lie down on, keeping the band on your foot.
Oh.
It's okay.
Dang it.
It's okay. It goes back on. Right leg is straight. Left knee is bent. Keeping the knee straight and the foot flexed. Lift it as high as you can. Notice where your toe is pointing. You want your toe pointing straight towards like your nose. You don't want it wandering off to one side or the other. Keep your knee straight. That's a good exhale. Feel your hips sinking onto the ground. And rest. Okay, there you have it. That will help to loosen up and give you a little bit more mobility in your knee, hopefully. So as always, comment below what other stretches would you like, what parts of your body get stiff. Hit the little circle to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.